I've stayed too long here.
Take me to Paris with you.
Visit me with your sister's little brother. There's a bridge there named for your grandfather. Did you know that? The Pont Alexandre. He never swallowed. We'll walk on it together, and we'll go to the ballet every night.
Take me with you now.
I already have, my darling Anastasia. Wherever I go, you'll always be with me. You're my favorite. Very strong, not afraid of anything.
Like you.
Our little secret. Our lullaby. When you play it, think of an old woman who loves you very, very much. Far away, long and low, going demands and amber, things my heart used to know, things it used to remember.
And a song someone sings. Once upon a
Have you said your prayers, my precious Anastasia?
Yes, Mama.
For your father the Tsar, for your sisters and brother, for Russia herself.
Yes, Mama.
What's this?
A music box, so the child will remember me.
Better prayers than music boxes in these difficult times.
It's the last ball of the winter season, Mamma. All Petersburg will be there.
We've been through this.
She's right. Mickey.
Remember, Anastasia, Paris.
Nana! Nana!
The Tsar requests the first dance of the evening, Mademoiselle.
I am Grand Duchess Anastasia Nikolаевна Romanov.
About the Princess Anastasia.
Not you too, Dimitri!
It's the rumor, the legend, the mystery. It's the Princess Anastasia who will help us fly. You and I, Fred, will go down in history. We'll find a girl to play the part and teach her what to say. Dress her up and take her to Paris.
Imagine the reward her dear old grandmama would pay. Who else could pull it off
For you and me.
It was a truck backfiring, comrade. That's all it was. Those days are over. Neighbor against neighbor. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. You're shaking. There's a tea shop just in from here.
What's your hurry?
I can't lose this shop. They're not easy to come by. But thank you.
I'm here every day.
Approval for this painting. It's Romanov, I swear.
How Yusupov's pajamas, comrade, by the pair.
I found this in a palace, initialed with an A. It could be Anastasia's. Now what will someone pay? We need something of hers to show the old lady.
There's more to being Anastasia than wearing a tiara, Dimitri.
Not much. Look how many people you fooled. How much is that music box? The music box. It's genuine Romanov. I could never part with it. 2 cans of beans, comrade? Dumb. Do you believe in fairy tales, Vlad?
Once upon a time I did.
You're going to create a fairy tale the whole world will believe. Now it's risky, but not more than usual. We'll need papers, we'll need tickets, we'll need nerves of steel.
Yes, it's risky. A lot more than usual.
We'll try to cross the border with our princess and our plot.
Hopefully disaster won't ensue.
With luck, it all goes smoothly.
And with luck we won't be shot. Who else can pull it off but me and you?
We'll be rich.
We'll be rich.
We'll be out.
We'll be out.
And St. Petersburg will have some more to talk about.
I'm hurting, Tom. I'm hurting, Mom. I'm hurting, Mom. The person who assured me it was absolutely
There's a rumor in St. Petersburg. Have you heard? Comrade, what do you suppose?
a fascinating mystery.
The biggest con in history.
The Princess Anastasia. Alive or dead?
I am the Grand Duchess Anastasia Romanov.
Try it this time without the gum in your mouth.
It's not gum. It's tobacco.
Is it the last 3, Vlad?
Who were you expecting? Sarah Bernhardt?
It's me, Grandmama, your precious Anastasia. They shot me, but I lived, and I've come all the way to Paris to tell you I'm alive. I'm not really an actress.
No.
Thank you, ladies. We'll let you know.
What you're doing is against the law.
For this, we lost our best hours on the street. If you weren't so handsome, Dimitri, I'd report you.
Out. Out!
Well, you tried, my friend. Anastasias don't grow on trees.
I'm not giving up. I'll go to Siberia to find an Anastasia.
Have you ever been to Siberia?
Never been anywhere but here.
The day I took up with you,
It was me or a Bolshevik firing squad.
you saved my life.
A rash act of kindness. Completely out of character.
Stop fiddling with that before you break it.
Can't get it open.
It's a fake.
How would you know?
No one spots a fake like Count Vladimir Popov. The biggest fake of them all.
I knew it! Those women ratted on us!
At least they'll feed us in jail.
Dimitri?
I'm Dimitri. What do you want?
I need exit papers, and I was told you're the only person who can help me.
Exit papers are expensive.
I've saved a little money.
Bright papers cost a lot.
I'm a hard worker. You'll get your money.
What do you do?
I'm a street sweeper.
A street sweeper?
In Odessa, I wash dishes. Before that, I worked at the hospital in Paris.
You're a long way from here.
I know, I walked it.
You walked here all the way from there?
I had no choice.
Who are you running from?
I'm running to someone. I don't know who they are, but they're waiting for me in Paris.
You don't need papers. There's a canal out there. Jump in and start swimming. You'll be in Paris before you know it. She's crazy.
I'm not crazy. Why are you so unkind?
We were hoping you'd be someone else.
Who?
Someone who may not even exist.
I've been in this room before. There was a play. Everyone was beautifully dressed.
This was the private theater in Count Yusupov's palace.
People were polite and kind.
She's going to faint on us.
When did you eat last?
Afterwards, we danced. There was champagne. I still listen.
For your manners, Dimitri, give her some water. And a piece of that cheese, too.
This isn't a soup kitchen, Vlad.
You seem to be a gentleman, even if your friend is not.
Gentlemen. I haven't heard that word in a long time. Life hasn't been easy for my young friend.
Life hasn't been easy for anyone. Thank you.
Don't be too quick about this one.
Have you gone crazy too?
I'm Vlad. What's your name, dear?
I don't know.
You don't know?
They gave me a name at the hospital. Anya. They told me I had amnesia. There was nothing they could do about it.
Tell us what you do remember.
They said I was found by the side of a road. There were tracks all around. It had recently snowed. In the darkness and cold with the wind in the trees. A girl with no name and no memories but these. Rain against the window, sheets upon a bed. Terrifying nurses whispering overhead. Call the child, Anya. Give the child a hat. I don't know a thing before that. Traveling the back roads, sleeping in the wood, taking what I needed, working what I could, keeping up my courage. Foolish as it seems, and tonight all alone in my dreams. In my dreams, shadows come. There's a light at the end of all. Then my dreams fade away, but I know it all will come back one day. I dream of a city beyond all compare. Is it Paris? Paris, a beautiful river, a bridge. I swear, and I hear a voice whisper, I'll meet you right there in Paris. You don't know what it's like not to know who you are, to have lived in the shadows and traveled this far. I've seen flashes of fire, heard the echo of screams, but I still have this faith in the truth of my dreams. In my dreams, shadows come. There's a light at the end of all. Then my dreams fade away, but I know it all will come back one day. In my dreams, shadows come. There's a light at the end of all. Then my dreams fade away, but I know it all will come back one day. In my dreams, shadows come. There's a light at the end of all. Then my dreams fade away, but I know it all will come back one day. In my dreams, shadows come. There's a light at the end of all. Then my dreams fade away, but I know it all will come back one day. In my dreams, shadows come. There's a light at the end of all. Then my dreams fade away, but I know it all will come back one day. In my dreams, shadows come. There's a light at the end of all. Then my dreams fade away, but I know it all will come back one day. In my dreams, shadows come. There's a light at the end of all. Then my dreams fade away, but I know it all will come back one day. In my dreams, shadows come. There's a light at the end of all. Then my dreams fade away, but I know it all will come back one day. In my dreams, shadows come. There's a light at the end of Bye.
Paris ourselves.
Preposterous rumor we take very seriously.
I told you. She's about as much a Romanov as I am. She's a street sweeper. She was living under a bridge until she took up with them. Her name is Anya.
Thank you.
Are you going to arrest them?
You've done your duty, and I've done mine, listening to your gossip.
It's not gossip, it's the truth.
The next time I see the three of you soliciting on Theater Street, I won't look the other way. Another rumor on the street, another girl to apprehend, one more pretender who no longer plays pretend. Philip, can you report? The rumors never end. The rumors never end.
The Grand Duchess Anastasia Nikolaevna Romanov?
I'm ready to find out who I am, but I'm not going to lie to you.
Don't feel lie. We're going to help you remember the truth.
I wish I had your confidence.
If the Dowager Empress recognizes you as her granddaughter, Vlad and I will give a small reward for our efforts, and we'll all live happily ever after.
And if she calls me an imposter?
Then it will all just be an honest mistake. Either way, it gets you to Paris and it gets us out of Russia. Everybody wins.
How do you become the person you forgot you ever were?
Take a deep breath. Close your eyes and imagine another time, another world. You were born in a palace by the sea.
A palace by the sea.
Could it be?
Yes, it's so. You rode horseback when you were only 3.
Horseback riding? Me?
Horse's name?
Romeo, you threw tantrums and terrorized the cook. How the palace shook.
Charming child.
But you behaved when your father gave that look.
Imagine how it was, your long forgotten past. We've lots and lots to teach you, and the time is going fast.
Let's see you walk and up, regal bearing. Now shoulders back and stand up tall, and do not walk and try to float.
Feel a little foolish. Am I floating?
I'm a singing pose, give a bow.
What happens now?
Your marriage seems a kiss. Most of all, remember this. If I can learn to do it, you can learn to do it.
Something in you knows it, there's nothing to it.
Follow in my footsteps, shoe by shoe.
You can learn to do it too.
You're the ones who don't stand straight.
It's all his years of bowing and kowtowing in court.
Bowing is a sign of respect.
I bowed to someone once.
Yeah, you admit it.
I was a boy. I didn't know any better. That was the first and last time. Where did you learn that?
I didn't teach her. She's a natural. Be seated, young lady.
Now, elbows in and sit up straight and do not slurp the stroganoff.
never cared for Stroganoff.
She said that like a Romanov.
The samovar!
The caviar!
Dessert and then goodnight.
Not until you get this right. If I can learn to
He can learn to do it. You can learn to do
pull
it.
yourself together and you'll pull through it. Tell yourself it's easy.
And it's true.
You can learn to do it too. Who's your great-grandmother?
Queen Victoria.
Great-great-grandmother?
Princess Victoria of Saxe-Coburg-Suffolk.
Your best friend is...
My little brother Alexei.
Oh, your best friend.
I know who my best friend is.
What a temper.
I don't like being contradicted.
That makes two of us.
Continuing on.
Right? And you probably sorry that we ever met my great friend. The only human don't forget and don't remember anything. Get out of the rich.
Anya, darling, look at me. We're all frightened of something now and then. Shall we start again? Take a breath, count to 10. You have courage and strength you barely know. So pull that little nose and dry those pretty eyes. A princess like your majesty can do this if she tries. Ready, set,
Now here's your great aunt Olga. How's she falling? Tall the vodka.
The distant cousin Vanya left his vodka.
Got it, Anya?
The Duke of Oldenburg was short.
A piece of butter. Counts again. Or a feather. I hear he's gotten very
And I recall his yellow cat.
I don't believe we told her that.
You can learn to do it. I can learn to do it.
So you let I do it.
I'm glad you need something I feel. There's a chance.
Not until you learn to dance.
We have only just begun.
Talk in the air. Dimitri! Let's get going.
If you can learn to do
I
it.
learn to
If
do
you
it.
learn to do it.
Pull yourself together and you'll pull through it. Tell yourself it's easy.
And it's true. You can learn to do it.
Nothing to it.
You can learn to do it.
The caviar, the stroganoff, the samovar, the feathered hat, the cousin drank, the dude was short and hero ordinary cat. The horse's name was Robbie, also taught me something new.
Très bien, mademoiselle, très bien.
Merci, monsieur, merci.
Vous parlez français?
Un peu.
Oh, she's charming.
What were you telling her?
Oh, the aristocrats all spoke French, Dimitri. Russian was for common people like you. You get to sleep off a sack of lentils tonight, huh? You've earned it. Bonne nuit, ma chère. Tomorrow, we begin again.
In Russian. For the common man.
We're born in a palace by the sea.
My own office, with a view of the Nevsky Prospect. A Russian telephone that works. That was a joke. We have wonderful telephones.
She's here.
Sir, our little troublemaker has been found. It's a remarkable city, our Leningrad. All those people down there coming and going, creating a future for themselves. I stand at this window for hours admiring them and wondering why a few bad apples are getting up to mischief instead. I can see all the way to the old Yusupov Palace. Funny business going on there. Counter-revolutionary behavior, some would say.
Why was I brought here?
How could you get Tommy Conrad? You. The frightened little street sweeper. I almost... I'd almost stopped looking for you on the Nevsky Prospect. Anya. Am I right?
Yes.
I'm Deputy Commissioner Gleb Pagonov. It's a uniform and office that give the bad impression. I'm really not so bad. See, I have a sense of humor. You're shivering again. A friendly cup of tea will warm us both up.
What is the charge?
There is no charge. Why should there be? You have a job, food on the table, your own place, and a new order of things.
I'm very thankful.
Which is why I'm warning you to leave your world of make-believe before it's too late.
I don't understand.
If you really were who you were pretending to be, they would kill you without hesitation.
Everyone imagines being someone else. I'm no different. It's an innocent enough fantasy.
No, Anya, a dangerous one. The Romanovs are gone. Every last one of them. They no longer exist. My father was one of the guards.
I don't want to hear this.
When he was told to fire, he obeyed orders. Be very careful of these rumors that prevail. Be very careful what you say. I was a boy who lived the truth behind the tale, and no one got away. I saw the children as the soldiers closed the gate. The youngest daughter and her pride. My father leaving all the night, they met their fate. His pistol by his side. The needle flows, a new wind blows, and soon it will be spring. The leaves unfold, the sun ice cold. A revolution is a simple thing. I heard the shots. I heard the screams. But it's the silence after I remember most. The world stopped breathing, and I was no longer a boy. My father shook his head and told me not to ask. My mother said he died of shame, but I believe he did a proud and vital task. And in my father's name, the needle flows, a new wind blows, and soon it will be spring. The leaves unfold, the starlight dream may bring, a revolution is a simple thing.
Thank you for your morning comfort.
It's Gleb. Please.
Flip.
Your eyes. Man can look right into them.
I'll make it work.
How's your new friend? Be careful on you.
As Deputy Commissioner Gleb Vaganov. Be very careful.
I saw the children as the soldiers closed the gate.
Life is good. As long as there's vodka, life is wonderful.
I'll drink to that. But we all know the new wind blows.
And what's that awful smell?
The leaves unfold, the starlight full.
They know where we're living. His name is Gleb.
Oh, look who's here! The Prince of Petersburg! Thought you were in Paris. He missed his old partners in crime.
Looks like he got himself a new girlfriend instead.
She's not my girlfriend. It's Anastasia herself. I bet he's got you bowing for him like a regular little czarina.
You going to Paris, mon chéri? Have a drink with us, Dimitri.
Come on, Dimitri, I don't like these people.
Too good for us, sweetheart. If you don't want her, Dimitri, I'll take her. You and dance, sweetheart, for
Next time I won't go so easy!
Where did you learn that? You're good.
Want to see what else I can do? Come at me, I won't hurt you.
I believe.
I didn't walk halfway across Russia without learning how to take care of myself. You've had it easy.
Not so easy. My father was an anarchist. He died in a labor camp for his convictions. My mother was already gone. Don't really remember her.
Who raised you then?
No one. I raised myself. I grew up on the sly, in the gutters and the streets of Petersburg. Just a kid on the fly, getting good, getting by in Petersburg. I bartered for a blanket, stolen for my bread, learned to take my chances and use my head. A Russian is clever, clever, or he ends up dead. Boils down to there are some who survive, some who don't, some get up, some get in. Me, I won't, black and blue. Welcome to my Petersburg. Come on. Standing here, you can see from the spires to the piers of Petersburg. I'd be down on that quay, selling stolen souvenirs of Petersburg. No houses sky had quite a view. Welcome to my Petersburg. My father used to bring me here. He put me on his shoulders so I could have a better view. Bet you could see all the way to Finland from up there, Dima.
Dima!
That's what he called me. There isn't a day I don't miss him.
So neither of us has a family.
You don't know that yet. The answer is in Paris. Now, tell me about the little dog.
His name was Toby.
Go on.
I loved him so much.
Don't stop.
I'm not as strong as you think I am.
Close your eyes.
Why?
Just do it. Put your hand out. Open. You've worked hard. You've earned it.
What is it?
A music box.
It's beautiful.
It's broken. I can't even open it. How did you do that?
Dancing bears, painted wings, days of
That's what I meant. Here, I worked an extra shift this week. It's not much, but every little bit helps.
Not even close.
What are you saying?
I thought I could get us out before they closed the borders for good.
You were the only hope I
There
had.
must be someone who can help you. I'm sorry.
No, I don't want your money.
It's your money.
It's our money. I trusted you.
I said I'm sorry.
I didn't trust you enough. Now you close your eyes.
What for?
You're the stubbornest person I've ever met. Almost as stubborn as me. Put your hand out. All right, open.
It's a
The
diamond.
nurse at the hospital found it sewn in my underclothes. She hid it from me till the day I could go. A secret she kept, although why I don't know. She said, don't tell a soul till the moment you must. I had to make sure I found someone I trust.
You've had it all this time without telling me.
Yes.
Why?
It's the only thing I have without it. I have nothing.
How do you know I won't take it now and you'll never see me again?
I don't think you will.
If you weren't a girl,
Disaster! The Yusupov Palace has been raided! We're done for if we go back there, mother of Moses.
She had it all along.
I didn't trust either of you with it.
I don't blame you. But never mind, all is forgiven! I love you!
Come on. I'm trusting you to give the exit papers.
Hurry! There's a train at midnight from the Finland station.
I'll fence the diamond. Where are you going?
They only owe us wages. Every ruble counts.
We're going to Paris on a train. I'm going to sleep in a hotel and take a bath in a real bathtub.
It's a special train. Aristocrats and intellectuals. Everyone the Bolsheviks want to be rid of. We'll be traveling as members of the Diaghilev Ballet Russe. They've taken Paris by storm.
God bless you.
I recognize that man. He's the Count Ippolitov. He's not just an aristocrat, but an intellectual as well. He's a dead man on both counts.
Train for Budapest on track 4. Paris via Budapest on track 4. All aboard!
We should go.
How can I desert you? How to tell you why? Coachman, hold the horses. Stay, I pray. Let me have a moment. Let me say goodbye to bridge and river, forest and waterfall, orchard, sea and sky, harsh and sweet and bitter to leave it all. I'll bless my everyone is equal now.
You don't have to sound so damn happy about it.
How dare you smoke without my permission?
Who the hell do you think you are?
I'm the Grand Duchess Anastasia Romanov.
I'm in a compartment with a crazy woman!
Warn us next time before you do that!
I wanted to see what it felt like saying I was hurt.
It's a long trip. You have plenty of time to practice. In Paris, your first challenge will be the Dowager Empress's lady-in-waiting, Lily, the Countess Malievsky-Malevich. No one has access to Her Majesty without her.
She sounds like a dragon.
Quite the opposite. Lily was beautiful, voluptuous, married. Everything I look for in a woman. She gave me a watch studded with diamonds.
Did you love her?
Madly done. But I loved the watch more.
What happened to it?
Oh, gone with the old Russian. Like everything else. I hope Lily's happy to see me. Be honest, blonde couple. How could she not be?
I may have gotten fatter, but maybe that won't matter. Bottom line,
I'll win her.
bring her some reminiscing.
She'll see what she's been missing. Over wine at dinner. And though I know I've grown a tiny bit gray, some women say I look distinguished this way. I'll bow as if I'm still a frisky young pup. Oh, let's hope that I can straighten up. If she says no, we'll lay low and we'll go from there.
Handshaking, heart thundering, meet the royal mess. Start smiling, step wondering, why did I say just?
Grip and take a deep breath. Soon we'll know what's what. Put on our show, rewards will flow, and we'll go from there. And we'll go from there. Oh, what a lovely ride, and what a lovely day.
For a totally illegal
We're looking for someone who's illegally leaving the country.
Didn't have the right papers, eh?
He had the right papers, he had the wrong name. Count Ippolito.
I'll go see what happened.
We know what happened.
Calm her down. Her tears will betray us.
You'll be safe soon.
That's what the soldiers said, that they were pointing their guns at us.
What soldiers?
They said they were taking us somewhere safe. Shelby's little heart was beating against mine. They're decent men, I told them. They won't harm us.
One's pointing a gun to you. You're taking this too far, are you?
Not if I really
are engaging in a crime. The Princess Anastasia is running out of time.
Dimitri, wait! You can't go any further. She's exhausted.
The Polish border is only 10 more kilometers. We'll be safe there.
Wait for me!
Follow her to Paris. If she's not Anastasia, bring her back. We'll make an example of her.
And if she is Anastasia,
Finish the job for your father like a good son. Leave her floating in the sand. It's really very simple. You merely point the gun, and then you pull the trigger.
and the job is done.
Enjoy your new position, the telephone, the view, the Princess Anastasia. Alive or dead, it's up to you.
Everyone imagines being someone else. It's an innocent enough fantasy.
An underhanded girl, an act of desperation, to my consternation, I let her go. She wants what she can get. Is that a fair depiction? Does she believe her fiction? It's hard to know. Is it innocence or guile, or nothing but a childish act of will? She doesn't know she needs you. She willfully misleads you. Still, the son becomes a man that his father's need. If my father asked questions, well, where would we be? She's nothing but a child, away from me's protection. I feel a strange connection I can't allow. She says it's all a game. She trembles like a flower, but in her there's a power. I see that now. I am nothing but a man, with nothing but his order to fulfill. I'm innocent, she cries, but then you see her eyes, and something in them tells you that she absolutely lies. Until your heart replies. But
La belle France!
It looks like Russia.
France looks nothing like Russia. Looks like France.
Except Russia's more beautiful.
Russia is not the world. Open your hearts and minds to all this. Learn something. I'm getting emotional. The last time I was in Paris, I was a young man. My waist was like this.
Why have we stopped? I'm going to ask the driver what's wrong.
Oh,
Look at her. Rattling off in French with him. You've taught her well. Don't be surprised if we get away with this one.
she'll break your heart, Dimitri.
Be quiet. What do you know about anything?
If they accept her as Anastasia, you'll never see her again.
As usual, you don't know what you're talking about.
This is as far as he goes. But we're almost there. From the top of the hill, he says you can just see Paris.
Oh, are you ready to be astonished?
We made it!
Even when I was mad at you, I never doubted we would. Thank you, Dimitri.
Thanks what?
I can see the Eiffel Tower. Get through. It's really there.
What? Let's see!
Heart, don't fail me now. Courage, don't desert me. Don't turn back. Now that we're here, people always say life is full of choices. No one ever mentions fear or how the world can seem so fast. On a journey to the somewhere down
I've never seen him so happy. I'm going to try to find Lily. I'll start at the Neva Club.
Considered the most beautiful bridge in Paris, the Alexander Bridge, as it is affectionately called by Parisians, was named for Tsar Alexander III. Look at the sky, look at the water, somebody's bridge, somebody's daughter, who could have known I'd be alone crossing this? Telling me somebody calling, sun going down, shadows are falling, shivering blue. Dangerous too, crossing a bridge. I'll play between where I've been and where I'm going. You bid me wander and finally thousands of lights shining below me. Somebody breathes, somebody lonely. Maybe we're sharing this beautiful night. Me on the left, baby, you on the right. All alone, seems crossing a Every light is like a promise. Every light could be a clue. One of them might be you. I'm sorry, Count Leopold.
She can't always be resting. The Dowager Empress knows I have important papers for her to sign.
Papers designating you the heir to the Romanov fortune. She will never sign them.
She is an old woman who has outlived her place in history. Anastasia is a pathetic figment of her imagination. Eventually, I will be recognized as the sole beneficiary of the Tsar's estate by an international court of law.
I'll tell Her Majesty you called,
You will be at the Neva Club this evening, Lily.
along with every other white Russian in Paris.
I will want the first, Charleston.
I've given up dancing for Lent.
Lent just ended.
Next Lent, I'm getting an early start. Is he gone? Your Imperial Majesty. He's like a dog with a bone, that one. Only 4 letters today. Oh. If only I could lose hope entirely. I used to open each one with a beating heart. Could this be my precious Anastasia? But after so many disappointments, I've come to dread the daily post. Another day, another imposter. I won't let you give up. Dearest Lily, I know I am a proud and difficult woman. You are the only one I've allowed to see what's become of me. I was Maria Fyodorovna Romanov, Empress of all Russia. You can't imagine what that means, Lily. No one can. Your Majesty, remember our happy happy summers by the sea in Livonia. Livonia. They all do their homework. Strange and bizarre events have brought me to Buenos Aires. Bring me to Paris, and I will convince you I am Anastasia. She wants me to pay her passage. At least that little imposter from Cleveland paid her own fare. What is Cleveland? I never heard of such a place. Sounds dreadful.
Dearest Grandmama, if I may...
I was never Grandmama, I was Nana. I was only Nana. Grandmama. They play me for a fool. Give me those. No more letters, no more interviews. There will be other young women. What shall I tell them? Tell them they're too late. The Grand Duchess Anastasia Romanov is dead. And the Dowager Empress is dead with her. Leave me. I'll light the lamps. Will you be all right this evening? My precious Anastasia.
She doesn't hear me.
These strangers come calling, soon enough they're gone. The twilight is falling, lamps will soon go on. And where does summer go? I will never know. Summer used to last endlessly. Children all in white running down the sand to be. These strangers sent packing, what do they expect? So grasping, so lacking, why not be direct? The beating of my heart after they depart, lying wide awake through the night. Will you ever come running home to me? You might. You might. I believe so long I have dared to hope. But the door might open
pardon?
Only just off the train Russians wear shoes like yours. I have the same pair. Try the Russian tea shop on the Rue de Bac, number 17. Last I heard, they were hiring.
I'm not looking for work, comrade.
Good evening, Countess Lily.
The only thing good about it is that it means one day less. I'm being Russian, Sergei. I love life. Count Gregory, how was the ballet?
Dreadful. You've never heard such a racket.
Le Sacre du Canton. Gregory renamed it Le Sacre du Bed.
Thank God for Swan Lake next week. Real Russian music, not this Stravinsky.
You'll be getting with her Imperial Majesty.
But of course, a lady-in-waiting's life is never her own.
Marvelous. I haven't seen the Dowager Empress since the Russian opera season.
Don't loiter. They won't like it. Go to the back door. Kostya will give you something to eat.
I'm not hungry.
Don't be so proud, comrade.
I'd rather starve than eat their scraps. They make me ashamed to be Russian!
Thank God for the Neva Club. St. Petersburg on the Seine.
Only a fool would go back. My husband was very sorry he did. 10 families were living in our ballroom alone. There were chickens in the wine cellar. It's not the Russia he remembers.
The Red Russian saw to that.
What is it our great poet said?
Which one, Lily? We have so many.
Pushkin.
It doesn't matter. They all say the same thing. Past glories, present griefs. Once I had a palace, here merely a flat. I fled some diamonds and that was good.
It's very tragic.
Once ladies in waiting, all mending on me. Now only one lady in waiting.
No fanfare. No coaches.
No afternoon card games with the Tsar.
No caviar. I say we're not dead now.
We're in France instead now.
Let us not be sad.
dear.
I can't imagine why not.
I still melt hearts, ma chère. Just as you still melt mine. I crossed the continent for this moment.
Still up to your old tricks?
Admit you're happy to see me.
I'm glad you're not dead, but that's as far as I'm prepared to go. What are you doing in Paris?
Didn't you get my letter?
And I promptly tore it up.
You've grown hard, my darling Lily.
No harder than a need be.
My precious Lily.
I'm not the woman you remember, Vlad.
No, you're even lovelier than I remember. My hot-blooded, sensual,
That was then, when the world was beautiful.
we'll make it beautiful again. In Paris, the city of lovers.
If only we could.
Ever since that first day I saw you at court, I knew I was beneath you.
You were right, darling. You were.
I noticed you across a room, the most exquisite rose, the tiniest tiara and that haughty little nose. I flirted with you shamelessly.
So the scandal goes, the Countess.
And the common man. We tiptoed off to beat off, to have a royal fling.
My husband was oblivious, Count's never know a thing.
And all of it was perfect.
Till you stole my diamond ring.
The Countess
And the common
man. Come on in, the bedclothes, the pastry and wine.
and under the table your foot touching mine. And how my heart beat when you set me aside. I love you.
You loved me. And oh, it was simply divine. Would have known, my little rose, we're back where we began.
And I suppose that you'll propose another sneaky plan, which I'll resist.
Until you're kissed.
For nothing's better than the Countess.
And the
again?
Gladly. But first, there's a young woman I want you to meet.
That's all?
There'll be someone at the ballet on Monday who'll want to meet her too.
Who is that?
The Dowager Empress.
No.
We're going to change history, Lily. The Countess.
And the common.
Yesterday, lost in their mad imperial hating. How sad is the land of yesterday? How could a good Russian girl be so badly led astray? You want to change history? Well, I'll let you lead the way.
Until you remember us.
Have you said your prayers? God is everything. Sleep well with this mother's voice.
Can I tell you a secret? I'm going to die soon. We all are. Do you have a secret?
I don't know who I am.
That's silly. Everyone knows who they are.
Anya?
The voices keep coming back.
That's all they are. Voices. You're having a nightmare.
Sorry me to be true. I'm frightened.
Is that better?
Who do you think I am to be true?
If I were the Dowager Empress, I would want you to be Anastasia.
You would?
I would want her to be a beautiful, strong, and intelligent young woman.
Is that what you think I am?
I do. You're welcome.
Began to wonder if you were ever going to pay me a compliment. Do you really think I might be her?
I want to believe you're the little girl I saw once many years ago.
I don't understand.
It was June. I was 10. I still think of that day now and then. A parade and a girl and a crowd of thousands. She sat straight as a queen, only 8, but so proud and sweet. How they cheered, how I stood in that crowd of thousands. Then I started to run and to call out her name as the crowd on the road went wild. I reached out with my hand and looked up, and then she smiled. In that crowd of thousands.
I was there too.
Maybe you were. Make it part of your story. A parade
Passing by,
passing by.
it was hot, not a cloud in the sky. Then a boy caught my eye.
In a crowd of thousands.
He was thick, not too clean. There were guards, but he dodged in between. As he made himself seen in the crowd of thousands. Then he called on my name and he started to run from the sun and the heat and crowd. I tried not to smile, but I smiled. And then he bowed.
I didn't tell you that.
You didn't have to. I remember.
Rain travels on, the sun in my eyes you on, but I knew even then, in a crowd of thousands, I'd find you. Highness.
What's meant to be is meant to be. I see it at a glance. She's radiant and confident and born to take this chance. I try to think of everything I just forgot. Romance. I never should have let them dance.
Your Majesty.
Is she in a good mood?
She's never in a good mood. What have you taught my angel?
Wait till you see her.
Your Highness. No, you mustn't.
That composure. Wait did a good job, did it?
I don't want to get your hopes up, young lady.
We'll celebrate after on your grandfather's bridge.
I'm ready.
You will announce the Grand Duchess Anastasia Nikolaevna Romanov.
You have a visitor, Your Majesty.
What are they saying? Wonder how long they'll be. Why should I worry? A worrying stars like me. Nothing to do but pace and stew and wait till the girl upstairs. Why panic now with everything to win?
My nerves can't take this. Tell Lily I needed a stiff glass of vodka.
Nothing but silence. This could be bad. But no, let's assume it's good. Thought it was foolproof. Nothing is foolproof. Whoa, better knock on wood. Girl gets a family. Boy gets rich. And fairy tale gets a spin. How can we fail with everything to win? I wonder if our paths will ever cross again, the way they did when you were 8 and I was 10. You said this was goodbye, but even so, you never know, you never know. I should be glad that we're breaking free, but nothing is what it was. I didn't know she meant me, but now I can see she does. Tormented princess, get their wish, and fairy tale comes true. Funny, the one small part I never knew. With everything to win, the only thing I knew is what happened?
She wouldn't even look at me. Damn this imposter, Lily. I know her kind too well. She wants money and will break an old woman's heart to get it.
I'll tell her the truth.
And I was a pawn in a scheme of yours. And you made me think I might be someone I never was or ever could be. I was cold and hungry and desperate when I met you, Dimitri, but I wasn't dishonest. I hate you for that. I'm sorry, young man.
Is she gone?
Your Royal Majesty!
How dare you address me?
Anya doesn't want your money. I take full responsibility for bringing her to Paris.
Hold
But
on!
I believe with all my heart that she is the Grand Duchess Anastasia.
I will not stay for this.
She only wants what's rightfully hers, your recognition, and your loving embrace. Try to imagine her life since her parents, sisters, little brother were murdered.
You do not need reminding what happened to my family. I lost everything I loved that day.
So did she. Anya survived for a reason. To heal what happened to Russia will be a wound that never heals.
It's no longer a concern of mine. Russia has damned itself to eternity for what it has done.
You're tiring her!
God will judge you harshly, old woman. History already has.
He turned his back to you.
Take me home with me.
It was my life you played with. Telling me I was someone else. Letting me believe I was. What is this?
I bought it for you when we read it.
Don't want it.
Where are you going?
Anywhere that's far from you.
Anya.
Oh, no wonder you were dismissed from court. Men like you deserve every bad hand like deals you for. You both do. I admired you. The way you were proud of who you were as a retreat, despite your circumstances. And you taught me to be the same. And the whole time you were tricking me. Russian history. Save it for your next status, your imperial race.
I think history demands we play this game to the end.
Please be seated.
There's no need. I shall be brief. Who are you?
I believe I am the youngest daughter.
Oh, spare me my family history. It's in every bookstore along the Seine. Anyone can read it.
I didn't think you'd be so cruel.
I'm old and impatient. Kindness has become a luxury.
My Nana was the most loving woman imaginable.
That was before they murdered everyone she loved.
Her bosom smelled like oranges when she had me.
Oh, it's a common enough scent.
Not hers. It came from Sicily, made especially for her in a box of polished olive wood.
How dare you sit without my permission? All right, sit. You have my permission. In that case, I shall sit too. Who was my favorite lady in waiting?
You didn't have one, you kept dismissing them.
It was a trick question. You're clever, aren't you? I'm trying to see the resemblance. I don't trust my eyes.
You should wear spectacles. I'm sorry.
Name the
Why don't you want me to be her?
I have found solace in my bitterness. It doesn't disappoint me. You Anastasias always do.
Give me a chance. Maybe I won't.
I don't believe Anastasia exists.
You don't want to believe it.
What was your mother's full title as Empress of all Russia?
Are we beyond this?
Her Imperial Majesty, the Empress of all the
She
Russias,
was Mama to me.
Alexandra Fyodorowna.
She was Mama to all of us.
You all cry at some point. Do you curse? Tears will get you nowhere.
Why did you come here?
Your young man told me you weren't part of his scheme.
He's right, it wasn't.
He thinks you may very well be my granddaughter. He says you've come to believe it yourself.
I believe it with all my heart. But I can't be her unless you recognize me.
You can't be anyone unless you first recognize yourself.
I know.
Do you know what it means to lose everything, young woman, my son, his children, everything I loved and held dear with all my heart, all lost and gone in one terrible moment, and for what? The good of Russia. I'll ask you very careful what you answer. Who are you?
I don't know anymore. Who are you?
An old woman who remembers everything the way it should have been and nothing the way it was. I am unreliable. I am a historian of the heart. I want this fearful journey to be over.
Remember the last time you saw Anastasia?
I didn't know it was the last time. We never do. We never know which goodbye is the last.
You were leaving for Paris. You never came back. You gave her a music box. I believe this was it.
I loved him very much.
We walked the bridge together, for all of them know.
What took you so long?
Doesn't matter. I'm here with you.
Too late. You've come too late.
It's never too late to come home, Nana.
Oh, Anastasia.
Orange blossoms.
What sort of proof do you intend?
Excuse me, over here!
Surely, Your Majesty, you don't think this impostor is the Grand Duchess Anastasia?
Count Leopold! With your dyed hair, and powdered face, and vodka breath! No wonder my parents laughed at you behind your back.
You're right, Anastasia. They did.
Everyone did, Your Majesty.
I remember you. But while you're ahead, Lord.
Yes, Your Majesty. Thank you, Your Majesty. Goodbye, Your Majesty.
I don't like that man.
He's not so bad.
Oh, yes, he is, Your Majesty.
He's a terrible person.
Get used to people agreeing with everything you say.
That's not right.
Now, where's your young man?
He's not my young man.
It's not plain to you that he loves you.
He's not my young man, Nonna.
When he refused my reward for finding you, I thought, Anastasia has found herself another kind of prince. One of character, not birth.
Dmitri refused the reward.
You are Anastasia. He said that was his reward. You have made this the happiest day of my life, Anastasia. Make sure it will be yours as well, Anya. We will always have each other no matter what you decide.
I should be glad I'm where I should be. Nothing is what is yours. I didn't know you mattered to me, but now I can see. Dies, condemned princes get their wish. The fairy tale comes true. The only thing I is Clem.
An underhanded girl. An act of desperation. And to my consternation, I let you go. Well, not this time. Paris is no place for a good and loyal Russian.
We are both good and loyal Russians.
I've come to take you home.
My home is here now.
Stop playing this game, Anya. I beg
We
you.
both know it's not a game, Clem.
If you really are Anastasia, do you think history wants you to have lived?
Yes. Why don't you?
The Romanovs were given everything and gave back nothing. Until the Russian people rose up and destroyed them.
All but one. Finish it. I am my father's daughter.
And I am my father's son! Finish it. I must. My father shook his head and told me not to ask. My mother said he died of shame.
mean you no harm of her?
I believe you are Anastasia.
What will you tell him?
That I was not my father's son after all. Long life, comrade.
She'll turn up. But why would she disappear in the first place? You've accepted her as the heir to the Romanov fortune. She'll live like a queen, even though people don't want queens anymore. Well, the English do, but they're crazy.
Not a trace of her! The room was bare, except for this.
Did we see the last of that young woman, Lily?
Was she Anastasia?
My favorite. Strong. Not afraid of anything.
It's time, Your Imperial Majesty. We can't hold them any longer.
You ever see me from a carriage again? Don't wave, don't smile. I don't want to be in love with someone I can't have the rest of my life. Goodbye, Your Majesty.
I always dreamed my first kiss would be in Paris with a handsome prince.
I'm not your prince, Anya.
The Grand Duchess, Anastasia Romanov, would beg to disagree. Diva.
As of today, there will be no more Anastasias. The reward for her safe return will be given to charity.
There never was an Anastasia. She was a dream.
A beautiful dream.
A dream only time will fade.
So no more talk with the Grand Duchess Anastasia Romanov.
The new order has no need for fairy tales. The case is closed.